Shop.
Thanks.
I've never been the same since I saw this movie.
Simply one of our best directors ever.
It's amazing, it's beautiful to look at, it's entertaining.
This is a terrific movie. It's one of my all-time favorites.
I think it's a perfect essential.
It Happened One Night, 1934. This is a film that really caught everybody by surprise.
This film was made right before the Hollywood Production Code was enforced, so it has a certain freedom.
Talk about chemistry. Claudette Colbert and Clark Gable really have it in this movie.
This film is really just such smart storytelling.
Now listen, you want to get to King Wesley, don't you? All right, I'm here to help you. What I want is your story, exclusive. That day-to-day account, all about your mad flight to happiness. I need that story. Just between you and me, I've got to have it.
This movie really defines the term a sleeper. Nobody expected anything from this little movie. Made at the Little Columbia Picture Studio, directed by Frank Capra, who'd done some movies but wasn't particularly, esteemed or anything. Clark Gable was sent to Columbia, as a punishment from his home studio of MGM, and Claudette Colbert didn't want to make it and thought it was a terrible movie when it was finished. And it turns out to be this mega hit that started this whole, actually, basically started the whole screwball comedy genre.
Yeah.
And from years after, people were always making movies about, a runaway heiress and a newspaper reporter on the run across country or something like that. And they were all, basic copies of It Happened One Night. Nobody ever did it better than Capra, Clark Gable, and Claudette Colbert with this film.
Yeah, this film also juxtaposes something that we've been talking about throughout this season, and interesting that it's one of the founding fathers, which is that unlike a lot of the films we've been discussing where I keep saying, I can't believe how fast they fall in love, this one really is a get-to-know-you slow burn. And they really earn it by the end. I also understand this is before the censors really got a hold of, the film industry, and
it's right around the time that changed.
Put a lot of restraints on, and there is quite a bit of skin in this film and quite a bit of freedom, and there is a feeling of innovation everywhere in this film. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that there are a lot of scenes that just have these great sort of breathable moments of the charm of these characters.
And talk about chemistry. There's great chemistry between Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, and a few years later they made a movie together called Boomtown, and were husband and wife in it, and there was no great chemistry at all between them in that movie.
Well, I think that this sort of, maybe it was a little bit of doubt and, uncertainty. You could feel like they had each other. They felt very connected in this movie.
Maybe like they were on this little island against everybody else. They weren't in their comfort zone at all. In Capra, you could understand his enthusiasm because he's trying to make a name for himself. So he's adding all kinds of little delicious things in there.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that films make today, is they put all of those moments on the cutting room floor in order to advance the story.
Speed it up.
And Clark Gable has a wonderful scene where he describes the place he'd ultimately love to go with someone he'd ultimately love to be with. And her reaction to it is so great, because it's like, you're killing me here. This is so great, and it's just such an incredible moment in the film that I think it's a real it's real evidence that we should slow down a little bit and allow people to really fall in love in movies. But I think you want to know why they fall in love in the movie.
Well, here's the film. Here's one of only 3 movies to win Academy Awards in all 5 major categories: Best Picture, Actor, Actress, Director, and Screenplay. And this was the first one to do so. It Happened One Night.